questions for Xavier?
Xavier, when you guys have a lopsided loss like that, how do you kind of refocus the next day?
Well, we the loss is never easy, so we never take the loss easy. We just try to focus on the details and try to get better from where we left off. Every loss is just a learning experience. So,
What is film review for a game like that? I mean, do you kind of rue having to go in there to watch that, or is it helpful to go back through it?
it's always helpful to go and look to see what you could have did better and what the whole team could have done better collectively. So every time we go to film, I feel like it's a great opportunity to just get better.
What was your big takeaway, especially in the offensive line, looking at it a day later?
We could have offensive line. We just gotta sustain blocks better and drive. We lost a little bit of technique last game that we had the games before. So.
You mentioned losing the technique from previous games before. Is that an emphasis this week, going into a game knowing BC likes to control the ball and you guys subsequently need to control the ball to keep them off the field?
Could you repeat that question one more time?
Focusing on technique, you want to make sure you control the ball on offense to keep BC's offense off the field?
Yes, sir. Our run game in the past has been great. I just felt like we got a little bit out of our element last game. We weren't all on the same page. We weren't playing the best football we could have played. We played it in the past. We could do it.
Do you take it personally as an offensive lineman when you guys aren't able to run the ball as well as you had been doing?
Yes, sir. It gets a little frustrating because it's you wondering what's going on, but you so busy doing your job, you really don't know what's going on until the play is over, until you see it in film on Sunday.
Coaches have said the growth of the offensive line has probably been the biggest for this team this year from where you guys were with 3 first-time FBS starters, Caden being at center for the first time. What have you seen in terms of the growth of this unit to where you guys are now able to be consistent in terms of running the ball and then pass pro?
I feel like it all comes down to just trusting and believing in one another. I feel like we have enough trust to know that our brother next to us know what he's doing, know that he's going to have my back on this play, on that play, knowing which assignment they need to be in where.
Back in the room, David.
Xavier, you kind of just talked about it. You guys weren't playing up to your full potential on Saturday, and Coach said it wasn't for lack of effort, but what do you think was the reason why you guys weren't playing up to your standards on Saturday, and what can you do to kind of fix that, maybe mentally?
Mentally, I feel like we could be – I feel like we was locked in, but, before the pregame, you could just feel, the energy, it wasn't there like it was previous games, and I feel like this week in practice we could try to build that energy back up.
There's still a lot of football to be played, and I understand the whole one game at a time mentality, but you're also still in a driver's seat to be bowl eligible. What's really motivating you guys, and that end goal too, is that kind of what's driving you as well?
Coach probably really hasn't, said too much about the bowl game because just like you said, we're trying to take it one game at a time. So I feel like we should just take it one game at a time, like Coach Pride said. The future, it's going to be there. It get there when we get there. I wouldn't worry about it right now. Just focus on what we got to do this week, Boston College.
Other questions for Xavier?
Xavier, you guys have sort of really figured something out at home the last couple times you've played there. It hasn't been the same success on the road. Is there something strange about going on the road with this team? Is there a hurdle to get over?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you because I feel the same way you do. Every road game, we just got a slow start. I feel like we start fast, had the energy from the jump, then we could get the job done. I feel like Sandman, we already had the energy as soon as we wake up, and we just need to take that with us in other states.
Let's go to Zoom for a couple.
On Zoom, we'll start with Tim, please.
Yeah, just one for me. Xavier, when you look at the opportunity that you guys had against Louisville that obviously slipped through your fingers, I know you just said that you want to take it one game at a time, but what do you do to kind of refocus yourselves and say, we still have a lot to play for? This Boston College game is, the most important game of the year before, the following week, the NC State game will be the most important game of the year and so on. How do you guys kind of refocus and make sure that you're, mentally where you're supposed to be?
We just we don't worry about the past. We just, every week as we start off 1-0. That's our mindset. Every week, 1-0. and we try to complete that goal by the end of the week.
Any final questions on Zoom? Okay, Travis.
All right, one more here in the room for Damien.
I've seen Brady Meadows get a significant amount of playing time in recent weeks. What has he brought to the table in terms of bringing that sixth lineman in the rotation?
Well, I guess it brings variety, like, you know, because the D-line, they study certain players, and like subbing throughout the game, the D-linemen, like, they're not going to know what to expect from every single man, like, because it's a rotation. And, you know, a D-line got their little rotation, so he brings, like, a good rotation to my side, and he spaced the field a little bit, too. You know, he's a little bigger.
Anything else for Xavier? Thanks, Xavier.